Right, welcome to the Showcase and Tactica video. It's for a Dreadnought here. It's the Furioso Dreadnought, which is unique to the Blood Angels. It's one of their unique Dreadnoughts that they're able to take. A big fan of the model and of the unit as well. In this video we'll take a closer look at the model itself, and then we'll focus in on the rules as well, upgrades, combinations, loadouts and some tactics for this Dreadnought that's unique to the Blood Angels. So I've had mine in my Blood Angels army for quite a while here, so there it is. We'll zoom in here and take a closer look. So there it is. So there's different loadouts you can go for. I've gone for the fist. It's a multi-melter underneath, and the frag cannon, a unique weapon for the Furioso Dreadnought as well. I mean, Deathwatch can take it now, but there it is. So just rolling it around. Well, that metalwork's just shaded there at the back and pretty much left. So a small highlight perhaps, but not too much work there at the back. And that's the way the Dreadnought's turned out. It does look mean. That's the Magna grapples there on top as well. Smoke launchers. Also, so there he is. We'll take a look at him now in the rules. So I'll just put him over there. So the new codex here for the Blood Angels will be a reference. So he comes under the elites section. Yes, here. So many elites available for the Blood Angels. Loads and loads of them. So the Furioso Dreadnought, I think he's pretty expensive. So he's not in my list at the moment. He starts off at 80 points, which sounds okay. Furioso Dreadnought then. Movement 8, so not bad. It's speeded up since 7th edition. I think Dreadnoughts went 6. This is 8 now, so it's quick enough. Really is fast enough, really. I mean, Howling Banshees go 8 inches, I believe, so Dreadnought's fast. Weapon skill 3+, strength 6, toughness 7, so it's tough as a main battle tank. 8 wounds, 4 attacks, which is a nice healthy amount of attacks. Leadership 8 and a free up, so it is tough enough. But if enough anti-tank gangs up on it, those 8 wounds are going to disappear quite quick. It's armed with 2 Furioso fists, a Stormbolter and a melter gun. So the fists then is ×2 strength. So it's going to fight at strength 12. It's AP -3 and 3 damage. So it's pretty solid. But 3 damage is reliable, but it's quite low. It caps off at 3, and you can't get up into the 4, 5 or 6 damage. So it does limit the potential damage that it can do. So with like 4 attacks, you're going to have to get all of them hitting and wounding and no saves from your opponent in order to destroy a vehicle in one turn. So it's a shame that. Whereas if you're on D6, you know, say you get 2 bits of damage come through on this thing, that's going to be 6 wounds in total, 2 lots of 3. If it was D6, it'd be 2d6, so potentially you can go right the way up to 10, 11, 12 wounds if you're well enough, but that's sort of capped there at 6, so it makes it reliable. You know how much damage is going to come through, but at the same time you can't push that right up with the randomness of d6 damage. If you're under 2 Furioso fists, you can reroll out hit rolls, so it makes it nice and reliable. Freeze to hit rerolling is okay, but still just going to struggle. I'm just thinking, 7th edition you used to be able to charge that thing into a vehicle and it would mash it up pretty bad. Chance of making it explode. So the model may replace 1 Furioso fist in either its Stormbolter or its melter gun with a frag cannon. So melter gun, by the way, now melter gun can help you out. I think it's well worth taking. It means that you can, say you are charging into a vehicle and you know your close combat attacks are going to struggle to destroy the vehicle, your melter gun shot could knock off a few wounds just to make it a bit easier for you in combat. So I think that's well worth doing. So I do take the melter gun for that. It's 17 points to add on. So you're pushing on for about 100. The combination I have here is a Furioso fist. It may well be free of charge. No. A bit harsh this really. For a single one it's 40 points, and then for 2 of them it's 50 points. So you're starting to knock the points up on this thing. You're pushing on for about 150 points, and then you've got to add on the frag cannon. 38 points. So this is the issue I've had. You're pushing on for close to 200 points for a Dreadnought. It is a lot. It is a lot. So that's why it's not on my list. I think it's too expensive in points. So you can go for the frag cannon. We'll cover that. They're 38 points. So I'm thinking, concede the fact it's not going to do too well in close combat, not amazingly, so why gear it entirely for close combat? So I make it half shooting, half combat, so it can do both. So the melter gun there, and I take the frag cannon, and all of a sudden it can shoot at some stuff, cause trouble, and still charge and cause trouble as well. So yeah, because all you're missing out if you take away the extra fist is just the ability to reroll hits. So I take advantage of shooting options. So the frag cannon is range 8. So range is an issue, but there's two things that I use to combat that. First thing is I put mine, if I use it, I put it in a Storm Raven, so Storm Raven can maneuver up, and then with this thing you can disembark 3 inches, move 8, so you can get his range pretty good once he leaves that Storm Raven gunship. You don't want him waddling around the battlefield 8 inches and advancing at a time, taking one turn after the next to try and position himself. No, not good. So I do recommend the Storm Raven gunship, and then he can manoeuvre right up the table, save time, and then disembark and cause trouble. The other thing to get where you need to go to shoot perhaps is to disembark, go 8 inches, and then you can roll your advance roll between 1 and 6 inches, because the frag cannon is assault, so you'll still be able to fire it at a target, and then usually assault weapons is -1 to hit, but this frag cannon is like a flamer, it's auto hits on the target, so even if you do advance, it's going to make no impact. So it's assault 2d6, so anywhere between 2 and 12 hits you're going to get on the target. The average is going to be about 7 hits. Then strength is 6, AP is -1, and damage is 1. So it's helpful against hordes and soft targets. Pretty good. Imperial Guardsman would be its forte. Excellent. Yeah, if you really want to enhance that, take the Heavy Flamer. Because if you add the Heavy Flamer in, it's the same range. It's heavy D6, so you're not be able to fire at it if you make an advanced move. But then it's strength 5, -1, and auto hits. All of a sudden, if you combine those two together, that's 3d6 auto hits. You're looking at about 10, 11, 12 hits on average, all the way up to potentially to 18 auto hits. And they're all at -1 as well, so pretty if we want to clear out 10-man squads of guardsmen, guardians and so on, then heavy flamer, frag cannons, pretty good. But I take the melter gun, just a bit of anti-tank ability, sort of trying to make him a bit of everything. This model replaces 2 Furioso fists with Blood Talons. You can go for Blood Talons on this. I would associate it more with the Death Company Dreadnought, but you can take it on there. And if you go for them, the Blood Talons are around here somewhere. Yeah, it's at the top here. 65 points. It's priced high enough. 65 points for Blood Talons. +4 strength, so he's still fighting at strength. No, he's fighting at strength 10. AP -2 and 3 damage. You can reroll failed hit and wound rolls to this weapon. It's nice and reliable. Rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound, but still you're capped off at 3 damage. And it's only -2, so your opponent, say an average tank 3+ save, is got a fair chance of blocking some of them. So Blood Talons are okay, but the combination I go for is sort of a combination of firepower and close combat, and then that firepower split between taking on hordes, taking on heavier targets. So he's more of a, instead of being a single unit that performs one task, he's more of a supporting unit. So when I go for my combination, I have the Storm Raven gunship, and then I have say Thunderhammer Terminators, and this worked in a game I played a while ago. It worked well. So these guys are working together. When they disembark, these can go into a heavy target. He can support them a bit, or he can fire his weapons at another target and sort of supporting, chipping in and helping with them, taking on another target, distracting and causing trouble for another target. So it's working together as a team, Dreadnought and the Terminators. So this one I'm going to replace it Storm Bolter and or Melter Gun with a Heavy Flamer. So that is that option as well. So even though you are taking the fists, you can still take some pretty good shooting weapons in the form of the Flamer, Storm Bolter and Melter Gun. Modern may replace its smoke launchers with a Magna Grapple. So smoke launchers is helpful if you're not going to shoot, you can activate that, it's -1 to hit. If you're in the middle of your opponent's deployment zone and you're worried and then his next turn you're going to get shot at by stuff, then chuck out your smoke launchers and that will protect you a bit. The other option is the Magna Grapple. It's 5 points, it's not very expensive. If a model with Magna Grapple only targets a single vehicle unit in the charge phase, add 2 to the charge roll, which is helpful. +2 against vehicles. Yeah. That is good. So that's the loadout for him. So what we'll do is we'll line up a few scenarios just to illustrate potentially how this Dreadnought can work. So situation here, we'll leave the Terminators out of this for now, but what we'll do is we'll manoeuvre him in. Let's just say we have a Storm Raven gunship is here. Say over here. So what you're doing is deploying 3-inch disembarkation, and then you've got your 8-inch move. So you see he's fast enough when you disembark. Then this is the situation I like with him. So I want to charge the character here, so I can really stack up the wounds against him. But I want to use my firepower against these guys. And say you've got say we've got the Heavy Flamer and the frag cannon option. We're just going to offload all of that into them and then charge into him. So you can do 2 things. And this is a principle here. It's sort of, you're amplifying a unit by twice because you're firing at one target, charging the next. And so you can do 2 things in a turn instead of 1. You know, other units, they use their shooting in a turn and they fire at a target. Others, they aim to get into combat and do that one thing, take on 1 unit. But with this, it's firing at one target, charging the next. You're getting your double efficiency, and it's good use of your units. So it's well worth, I think, doing the transport so you're able to manoeuvre yourself into that kind of position. So I'm going to go for the frag cannon then. 2d6 hits, bit average, but 5 auto hits. 2 wounds at strength 6. And -1, 6s to try and save, none. So you just hack down 5 members of the squad. Heavy Flamer gets 5 hits, 3s for wounds, and 6s to save, none. So 2 more gone with the help of the Heavy Flamer. So that's mashed that unit, that's wrecked them. And then we'll do the charge with him, so he goes in. So 4 attacks. He's alright for combat, he does have that talon there at least. Yeah, the Furioso Fists we've gone for here. So 3s to hit. 2 have missed, but 2 have got through. 2s for wounds. There's 1. And 4 up in 1 save. I think he's going to survive. No, it's got through. And so that is a flat 3 damage. See there? I can't roll a d6 to see the random result is a 1 anyway. But it's reliable damage. But he's not dead. So that round there, took out a good number of models. There's possibly a morale issue there. And took on the character. Caused trouble against him, but not killed him. So again, not expecting him. He's noticed here. He's not wiped out target shooting. He's not wiped out in combat, but he's helping out for sure. Causing trouble for 2 units. The opponent has to now try and pull him away, rally them, but they're in a real bad state. So Dreadnought causing trouble. And sometimes if your opponent's starting to run out of heavy stuff and he's left with these kind of units, they're really going to struggle against a heavier target like this Dreadnought. It's great when it's wandering around the lines. Say this opponent's got another unit over here, you know, you're going 8 inches, you can roll an advanced move and you can find yourself going pretty quick around the board and then getting those auto hits there, potentially with the Heavy Flamer and the frag cannon working to get 3d6 at a time in total. Is nasty enough. And if you come up against a vehicle, there's no soft stuff around and you can charge in and you can use your fist. So sort of multiple options available for the Furioso Dreadnought. So that's the Tactica video there. Maybe you disagree with this combination that I've gone for, but leave that in the comment section. Share your own loadout that you like to go for and your winning combination. Maybe you do really well with the Furioso Dreadnoughts, then discuss that in the comment section. Or maybe you think he is overpriced like I do, then you can let us know in the comment section as well. But that's the Furioso Dreadnought for the Blood Angels. I like him. It's one of the unique units that the Blood Angels have. It's the Dreadnought that's unique to them, and so I'm a big fan of it. It's not quite in my list, but it may well change your mind if you leave your... See what the comment sections say, especially if you've had success with these. Then why, how did you do it, what combinations work for you, then leave that in the comment section below. If you like the way the Blood Angels have turned out, regular infantry painting tutorial on the channel here, and then the in-depth painting tutorial for a Bow Predator, and you can use that as a reference for any of the vehicles. You can follow that along on the Plus channel. I'll show you from start to finish how to paint the Blood Angels to this exact standard. If you follow along step by step, I'll show you exactly how it's achieved. But there it is, that's the video. Keep a look out for more Blood Angels Tactica on the channel. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.